Hi, guys. If you don't know me, I'm Pam from Old Hippie Homesteaders. Sorry about the noise. The turkeys are going crazy today. Guys, so I'm going to get on here real quick. Yesterday, um, it was a runaround day to help my mother, who's 84. And she asked me a question. So when she asked me this question, I know how scared she is. A lot of the elderly are just sitting and watching TV. They're watching the news. And in her case, she's watching CNN. Where did I go wrong? Good Lord, where did I go wrong? Anyway, she asked me what she should do if shit hits the fan. Where's she supposed to go? What's she supposed to do? And she said, oh, never mind. She goes, it's stupid. I said, there's no stupid question, Ma. And I said, you need to get to your boyfriend's house as quick as you can. He's closer to her than I am. And the route she has to take to get to me would not be safe. So I told her to get to her boyfriend's house as quick as she could. I said, make sure you have a bug out bag in your car with extra meds and clothing. She didn't know what a bug out bag was. I had to tell her what it was and describe it. I told her to keep her gun with her, loaded, and bring extra shells. I told her if she had time, bring extra food and supplies to her boyfriend's house. I said, if for some reason you can't get to his house, I told her to hunker down and some way I would go get her. Somehow, one of us would go get her. But what do? All this crap that's going on now, it's scaring the shit out of people. It's scaring the shit out of the elderly. It's scaring children. It's scaring me. What do you tell them? I'm worried sick about my grandchildren. Some I see, some I don't know where they are. They're missing. They've been taken out of our family. I'm worried sick about them. So guys, this is very upsetting to me. Do your grandchildren or your children or your great grandchildren know how to get to you? Have you talked to them about this? Now, you could talk to your children and grandchildren. It's the parents' responsibility to do that. But have you talked to them about a what if? What if something happens and it's not safe to stay in your home? Do you know how to get to so and so's house? My house is everyone's plan A, B, and C. It's my children's plan. It's my grandchildren's plan. It's a few close friends of ours' plan. We are their plan. So, for example, I live way up high. And if you have the same situation, if you live out in the forest, if you live way out in the boonies, do your grandchildren that live in the city or your great grandchildren, do they know how to get to you? Do they know the back roads? Have they looked at a map? Maybe you need to put a map in their bug out bag showing, circling or putting the X where their house is and where, for instance, grandma's house is. Do they know to stay off the roads? Do they know to take the back way? Do they know how to make a shelter if they have to go through the forest? Do they know how to make a shelter out of limbs and things out of trees? If they don't, you guys need to show them. And you can do it in a way, you can make it fun, you can make it a game. Show them how to build a shelter to keep out of the cold. Show them how to do it with pine limbs and stuff so it's not so obvious. Tell them if they see an abandoned car to get in that car if it's not running or if nobody's in it, if it's an old car. That will even keep them out of the wind, out of the rain. Do they know these things? Does your family know? Does your family have a plan? If something was to happen right now and you couldn't get in contact with anybody, do they know where the meeting spot is? It doesn't have to be your house. It could be a cave. It can be a camp trailer out somewhere. Do they know this? Have you had a family meeting? Maybe it's time that families have a family meeting and make an ABC plan. Do you have a bug out bag in your car? Do you have water and food and clothing and blankets and medication in your car? If you're going down the freeway and shit hits the fan and suddenly no cars work, if an EMP strike hits and no cars work, do you have that bug out bag in your car and a map to know how to get to the back way? Because you want to stay off the freeway, you want to stay off the road. I'm not saying this to scare the hell out of you. I'm saying this to help save you or your grandchildren. My grandchildren know the town I'm in, the older ones, but the younger ones don't. So maybe whatever your meeting spot is, maybe you guys need to add a map to your children's bug out bags. What if you get separated? It may be nice that everybody stays together, the parents and the children. What if the parents don't make it? What if God forbid something happens to the parents and your children are left standing beside the road without guidance, without your leadership, without your protection? Do they know what to do? Do they know which direction to start walking? Do your children know north, south, east, and west? Do your children know how to use their fingers with the sun to learn what time it is? Do your children know this? It's time you start preparing them. Nothing may be happening, but also something may be happening. If you want to have I can't even think of the word because I just want to stress upon you. This keeps me awake at night, worrying about my babies, my grandbabies. This keeps me awake at night. Do they know what to do? If I was with my grandbabies and shit hit the fan and I dropped dead and they were left standing there, do they know how to get to the safe house? It's time you include your children in your preparedness. You need to be prepared, not scared. If shit hits the fan and it's an EMP or whatever, and you can't message, text, call your family, but if your family has a plan, you know in your mind, give them a couple days, they'll make it to the door. They'll make it to the house. So you won't have to worry. Do they have walkie-talkies? Do you have a CB radio? Do you have a ham radio? We aren't prepping anymore. We have prepped as much as we can, but I'm still canning food. I'm still gathering food. I'm still freeze drying food, and we're keeping our cars full of gas. We're keeping our excavators and our quads and all of our farm equipment filled with gas. We're keeping our propane filled, and we have extra gas and propane. I have quite a few extra bedrooms, and in those bedrooms, I have multiple twin beds for multiple people. So for your peace of mind, make a game out of it. Make a board game out of it. But have you guys have prepared for water, medicines, food, bullets, but have you prepared The little ones, have you prepared the children? If you have multiple children, have you prepared the older children and you instructed them about the little ones? Have you prepared them enough to know if they're home alone and something bad happens and they can't get a hold of anybody, do they know where to go? If your plan is for them to hunker down, do they know this? Do they know this? So just for today, when I got out of Bible study, this just hit me like a ton of bricks. We were actually talking about it in Bible study. Make a plan. Include your children. And you don't have to scare them. It could be a game. Put a map, in their backpack. Teach them north, south, east, west. Because if they don't know that, they don't know to go north, they don't know to go east, they don't know. Teach them what time it is by using your fingers. It's very simple, very simple. Teach them. It doesn't give you the exact time, but it'll give them an idea. Teach them how to gather things that are in the woods to make a shelter. Teach them. If your children have a bug out bag, do they have a big black trash can so they can get inside and that'll keep them extra warm? Teach them these things. It's very serious. It's a simple thing to do. Simple thing to do. You don't want to have children wandering knowing not where you live. I don't know about you, but I would get physically sick if I had not taught my children and talked to my grandchildren. Teach the children what town they live in. Teach them what town the safe house is in. If you think that something's going to happen and you're all going to be together, think again. Something could happen as you're on the freeway coming home and your children are latchkey kids and they're by themselves. You better teach them. That's what this video is about. I'm scared for the children. I'm not scared for myself. This is not my final resting place. My final resting place is home with Jesus. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. But to me, that keeps me calm, that keeps me centered. This is not my final resting place. But what gives me a peace of mind is knowing that my grandbabies can find their way to my house, our safe house. And then once everybody's at your safe house and it's not safe anymore, y'all leave together. You're together. That's what matters. So if shit hits the fan, a couple days go by and you don't hear from a child and their children, week goes by and suddenly you hear Grandma banging on the door. Grandma, we're finally here. We had to walk through the canyon. We're finally here, Grandma. You know you did a good job. You did a very good job educating. It's not scaring, it's educating. At least teach them on a map, north, south, east, west, how to read a map. Have them know what freeways are close to them. 50, 99, 80. Or whatever freeways, the 10, the 210, anything. Teach them. It's your responsibility. It's just not your responsibility to feed and clothe them. It's your responsibility to help keep them safe. And this will help keep them safe. Even if you don't think they remember, they will remember. So if I didn't mean to scare you. I didn't mean to think we're going to be attacked. Any of that crap. But with all the bad stuff that's going on right now, be prepared, not scared. Okay? Be prepared, not scared. I know there's a lot of people that are invalids, they're in a wheelchair, they can't get out of their home. You teach them to hunker down. My mother knows we won't be able to go get her if something catastrophic happens. She knows we can't go get her. I can't even tell you what that does to my heart. I can't even tell you. I can't even bring the words to say it, to leave my mother where she's at. But I have taught her what to do. I have taught her about the bug out bed. I've talked to her about her gun. I've talked to her about the bullets. I've talked to her about extra food. I've showed her the back way to get to her boyfriend's house. She will be safe there. He will lay down his life for her. And his son that lives there will protect her. I know that. I know that. They've said that. I don't know what else to say, but please take this. Just think about it, because a lot of people haven't thought about it, especially the maps and which direction and everything. I hope this helps. I hope this gives you guys an idea. I hope it starts conversation. I don't want to come off as a kook. I want to come off as educating you and your children, or your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. You all have to come together with a plan, A, B, C, or D. Okay? Be safe. We have turned the news off in our home, not letting any more outside influences come in. So be prepared, guys. Not scared. Peace out. Have a cool day. Thank you for subscribing.